He said your sister's a whore.
I hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. Ladies and gentlemen, Steak and Sauce family, this is episode 16. Woo! I am one half of that dynamic duo, Antonio Clavin. The other half is...
You already know. I don't need to say much. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. My name is Derek Nowlin, the other half of the dynamic duo, the baddest podcast in the land. We hope that you got a lot of turkey, and we hope that you stirred some mac and cheese over the holiday.
Yes,
we
sir.
know that these gentlemen did. Okay,
something like that. We
have some amazing guests. They're not new to you guys. They're superstars.
Yep.
One of them drives a Scat Pack, and he only races Toyota Corollas. The other one owns a lot of land in Pulaski. Okay, and he always tells somebody, "What's your famous saying?" That's absurd.
Absurd.
That is absurd. We got my brother Jalen and Preston in the house. Let's give it up for him.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, fellas, for being here. Like Tonio said, today we really wanted to dial in for this episode. A lot of people have requested that we covered some of these topics. So we're going to cover mental health and male insecurities. That's deep, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before, right? So we'll try to be as transparent as possible. We'll try to be as open as possible as we can, right? I don't want you guys to say anything you don't want, right? Leave that up to me, right? So, man, let's go around. Weston, how you been this week? Good.
Had a great week.
Great week?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all enjoy time with family? It was a blessing. I really felt good this Thanksgiving. I know, we see each other throughout the week and stuff like that, but after we had that episode, I really felt good about being able to spend that time. Everybody was healthy, so It was a blessing for sure. And we hope everybody out there was able to stay with their family, friends, and just enjoy themselves. And all that is definitely a blessing. We want you to continue to support us. Put that burger down. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so that you can be notified when we drop some fire content, because you're going to get it here. If you don't know by now, I don't know why, because your baby mama does. Just saying. So also continue to support Weston at carmack.media on Instagram, and continue to support Scott Bunn as well. So we appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into something right quick. So I printed off some lyrics, and I'm going to read them, and I want to see if you guys can maybe pick up on what song this is, okay?
All right.
Y'all ready? Listen all you like. Tattoos showing out the shower in the mirror. Go to clicking off the lights. Cut them off. Ain't this what you like? I can lay you on your back. Then I hit you with the pound game.
Oh my
God. Pin you down so you can't run, in and out game. Hit you from the back, probably get you with the mouth game. Ain't nobody's business, this is our thing. Spit all between both cheeks, now spread them. Let the neighbors know my name the way you keep saying.
I'm glad I didn't.
Hands behind you. I'm going to stand behind you, pulling on your hair, all that ass behind you. Got me saying, ooh, keep going with your moves. Cameras by the bed. I ain't going to say that. This a movie. Shoving you with winky, finger in your booty. Hit you with the Ruger, my gun don't jam. What y'all think about that? That sounds like an average Tuesday night for me.
Yeah, sounds like somebody's having a good night.
That's pretty much a regular Tuesday night for me. What about y'all? Let's just go around the table right quick. Tony, how you feel about that?
Sounds like a fun time.
Okay, do you know who that was?
No, I don't.
Okay, Preston?
I don't know. I
Not a
don't know who
clue.
that was. I have no idea.
That's
Definitely before my time.
Does
That
that
sounds like something.
Yes.
like that.
Really?
Definitely before my time.
So y'all gonna put it on the old head that read the lyrics that this is old?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty
Well,
sure.
we'll see. We'll see. Do you do anything like this, Preston?
Don't even, bro. That's absurd. That question right there was crazy.
This is not absurd.
That is absurd.
This is Steak and Sauce Podcast. Okay, the viewers want to know. We'll skip out of it. Jalen, what do you think about it?
I wouldn't say a Tuesday night. I'd say a Friday.
Friday night,
sure.
okay.
Friday
After
for
we had a
sure.
couple wings or something like this. Well, this is Kevin Gates, so it's definitely y'all's era, right? Him and Trey Songz, they had a song called Jam, and pretty good song. I want to print out the second verse as well, but it gets a little bit worse too. So I figured I'd just lace this one at first, and then we'll see where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, just because it's hot, that don't mean it's fresh. Right? I thought about that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
really
good,
good
right?
right there.
Just
Yeah.
because it's hot, that don't mean it's fresh, Tonio.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you like to get on this platform and make it seem like I've done terrible things in my life. And you enjoy it, right? And I don't mind because
You do
today...
the same thing. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean the same thing?
Yeah, we already know.
Is this like a Master Splinter and the Turtles type of thing?
Nah.
Okay?
Nah.
Because somebody taught somebody. And me and you go back and forth.
Oh, yeah, I definitely taught you more things.
Oh, no.
Like 20%. I might be younger, but I definitely taught you more things in that field.
You know my saying. You might be, but I ain't gonna say it. And I don't want to get you in no trouble, but
Yeah.
we'll keep it light. But all I'm gonna say is relay for life.
What the hell is that?
Me?
Oh
You
God.
must be talking about somebody else.
I'm talking about meat to meat.
No way.
That's absurd.
That's absurd.
That is
That is
absurd.
that's absurd.
Okay. All right. So we'll come back to that.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we need to get.
Now, I wanted to try something different with you guys right quick before we get into it. I'm going to start the first little portion of a story. I'm going to create it on the fly. The next person
Yeah.
is going to have to pick up right where I left off and go around the table. All right. So it was about 2 a.m. My phone rang. I looked over at it. I already knew who it was. And at this time of the night, I knew what she wanted. But I just ate a couple slices of pizza. My stomach was hurting, and I didn't feel like doing no squirt. Part 2, next episode.
Hold on.
Part 2.
Were we all there?
Huh?
At the same time?
Well, he said he ran out. I didn't know he was there,
You said
but
you
I
stayed. So
but
what
I
was y'all
stayed.
doing together?
We was
What was
fitting.
y'all doing?
We was fitting to run.
Yeah, they was doing something over
We
there.
was fitting to.
It's bonded.
You ever see when they put them pigs on them skewers?
Yeah.
And them pigs roll over. I'd have been at the front and you'd have been at the back. And she'd look just like one of them pigs. Getting rolled.
Yeah, I know.
Those are jokes. We've never done anything like that in my life. As always, during the week, I like to find some funny videos, right? So we found a couple. We run those right quick, get you guys' reaction. Weston, can we run a few of those right quick? Who's your daddy? He's saying, who's your daddy, right? He's drunk.
Is he at the Yankees
He's at a
game?
Yankees game. That's a wig. He flicked off the camera, look.
Your sister's a whore.
He said, your sister's a whore.
I hate the Yankees.
He's saying,
Yeah, he's trash.
Yeah, he's trash. Who's your
trash.
daddy? Then he does his hand like that. So this guy on TikTok, his name is Little Mo, I think.
Sister's a whore.
And he always goes around New York and he says, who's got the fresh mozzarella, and he tries all these restaurants out. Super funny dude. I figure I put that up there. We got some baseball fans.
I underestimated the gifts that
So
God
I saw
gave
this
me
week, and
way too low.
I know that we're still in the beginning stages of this show, but this was really motivational, like telling us to choose ourselves. Like you told me, Preston, you said, look, man, you got to start believing in yourself. Like, the next time you pack out a room, like them people got to pay you for it.
Yeah.
And so little conversations that I have with you guys allows me to really like check back in with myself and be like, you know what, we really have something going here.
Yeah.
You know, should always bet on yourself type thing. So
Absolutely.
I saw that. So
It's for everybody.
So yeah, that's for everybody.
That's not just
Right.
you know, starting off something new. That's just daily life.
Daily life.
Always believe that you are the best.
Right.
That's good.
And never again will I abandon myself.
So he was talking about, you know, losing a part of himself, abandoning himself for a little while, and then getting back to being like, hey, if I can bet on anybody, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
You know. So I thought that was good. So, hey. What's up?
That's what I was about to say. What is cocktails?
Oh, so
She said it smell a little fishy.
she said
That might just be how pussy smell.
Oh, God.
if a girl
Pussy got
picked
a
you up,
natural
right,
odor too. Now I'm talking about pussy.
and she
just
wanted to
raw
take you back to the
pussy.
hotel,
I don't want to use Ashanti for
and
this example,
a
because she got
Ashanti,
a lot
for
of
instance,
pressure
on the
right
thing,
now.
Cannon just talked about it. She
Ashanti
was
picks you up and she had a
the
little bit of
hygiene
odor.
Is really stinky. When really it's not.
What are you doing?
They have bacterial.
You can jump in the shower just like I am.
That's what pussy smell like.
So you won't ever jump in the shower,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got the hotel, right?
right?
Yeah, this shows.
But how do you tell her that?
What's the difference?
Hey, you need to jump in the shower.
How do you tell her you need her to jump in the shower?
Nah, just tell her I jump in there with her.
Yeah, you can start off like that. That's a good one. Yeah.
So that's how you smooth that over.
Yeah.
So
Just don't tell her.
you're just gonna straight up tell her you stink. Get in
No,
there.
I ain't gonna say it like that.
Yes,
but
you would.
I like to freshen up before I do
yes, a dog.
anything.
He's gonna
He
tell
said
her.
he don't care if she walks out or
Get your ass in the shower.
Yeah, I like to freshen up. So you got to
What do you think I would tell her?
something nasty.
You would just
You
go
probably
straight
won't even
at
tell
it.
her anything.
You wouldn't even
might
tell
go
her
straight
nothing.
at it.
You
Enjoy
would.
it.
You wouldn't even make her get in the shower.
I'll tell her stay right where you at, girl.
There
Now,
goes down on the
did
first
you do
night.
the Stairmaster before you came over here? Let me check that thing out right quick. Y'all ain't at least gonna put nothing in your mustache before she goes?
No.
What? Now I usually got a rule. If you're kissing down towards the navel and you get to the navel, if her navel stinks and is dirty, we got a problem, okay? Because she ain't washing her navel, she ain't washing the anal, okay? I'm just telling you that right now. But if I get past the navel and it's a slight punch of funk, not an uppercut, maybe a hook of funk that comes up, you know, did you work today? Did you go grocery shopping?
You gonna uppercut it back.
You know what I'm saying?
Go right down there with
You know, I might, rub on a little bit, and when she looks away, just see what it's working. You know what I'm saying? Just see what's working for her, 1 to 10.
FDF.
Yeah, FDF. What is FDF, Preston?
You said it was full days funk.
Full days funk, my man. On that thing.
Terrible.
Yeah, FDF. Hey, Steak and Sauce family. Make sure y'all check.
Copyright it.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead,
copyrighting it right now. Make sure y'all checking for that FDF. It's important, okay? Now, I know some people at this table are a little bit younger, and you probably want your woman or your significant other to go ahead and jump in the shower and get all, scrub-a-dub-dub-dub. But when you get to a nasty man like my age, you appreciate the seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Hell
Tony,
no.
Nah, we'll see about
What?
that.
Hell
We'll see.
no.
let me tell you
I
something.
don't care if I'm 50.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
At the age of 50, my nose still gonna work at the age of 20, man.
It may, but your appetite may change. Tell them about that seal, Tonio.
I don't know anything about this
Oh, let's not do this.
seal. I won't do this.
Let's
Hey, what are we
not
talking about?
tell them how the seal is not even broken all day. She's sitting in her office at her desk, typing away. What's she doing? That thing's marinating like roast in a crock pot. And that seal ain't even been opened, right?
Yeah.
Just warmed up. Now, the first person that's going to put that stick in the ground and say, you shall not pass, like Gandalf, is going to be you when she gets home. Now, do you want her to just wash all that away?
I prefer her to.
You wouldn't put a roast on while you're at work and come home and dump it in the trash.
I think you're talking about like two different things.
Yeah,
Because you bring up like,
You're talking about
like an AC to office, just sitting there.
I just said
Sitting there, but then you also talk about like Stairmaster work. I'm not. That
There's
goes too far.
No, there's levels to this stuff, right?
Yeah, but,
If she comes home sweaty from the gym, you gonna make her go take a shower?
yeah, that's too much.
Get out of here, bro.
Hold up, you said all day. That means, bro, at the end of the day, you eating a whole 9 to 5 gas station. She went and got groceries.
She might have had
thighs rubbing.
She might have had a burrito. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. When she comes home, that's the best time. You know what I'm saying? That seal ain't been broken. I'm trying to teach y'all something. I'm trying to learn you something, okay?
Derek nose messed up.
No, I know.
He don't know what he don't know what he wants. He can't smell it at all.
My nose good. I'm like a hound dog. All right. You ever see that movie Fox and the Hound?
Yeah.
What do you tell him? I'm a hound dog. That's how I am. Soon as she walks through the door, I go, because I already know. I already know. What I'm saying is, when you got the FDF on there, that's natural. You know what I'm saying? She ain't supposed to just sit on that thing and type all day. You're supposed to share it. Right? So you sitting on it, you got to come home and share that thing. Let me see it. Bend over, let me see it. now, I might not want to touch it. Let me just look at it till later. You know what I'm saying?
A little sight.
Just let me look at it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Just let me see. Let me know that I can have it. I don't need it. Just let me know I can have it.
You like a little tease.
Oh, man. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I guess.
I can see it.
That's what you like.
Well,
I think Derek likes a little bit more tease than that, but we don't have to talk about that on the show.
I'm very dominant, so I wouldn't mind to halfway get beat up.
Oh, y'all want to hear a funny story of the day?
Yeah.
So we're hooping today, right?
Yeah.
We're playing basketball, and I ain't gonna say no names just to put them out there. But
Right.
Buddy basically tells us that he met this girl on TikTok.
Oh.
And, they talking dirty, such and such. And when he pull up, she's like, hey, whatever. He's like, hey. He said, next thing he knows, wham! She just started beating on him, punching him right in his face.
Oh.
Him. Boom, boom. He was like, bro, the whole time, I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm about to, like,
Yeah.
He pulled up to her house, said he left with 2 black eyes.
Oh, Lord.
No butt.
No butt, just 2 black
I
eyes?
swear.
Never knew this girl.
Never knew this girl.
She teed off
Met her
on
on
him.
TikTok.
She teed off on him when as soon as he
No
got to the
reasoning
house.
at all.
No reason at all.
I'm going to tell you what I would have done. I'd have went up under my seat.
I wouldn't even did that. I'd have punched her back. She might have got turned on. You hit her back.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
That's
we
wild.
We couldn't even play that.
Did she-
We couldn't even play no more.
Did she know people he knew?
No.
This is complete strangers.
This is complete strangers. My man took an hour and a half out his day to drive there and an hour and a half to drive back after he was beat
To
up.
get an L?
to catch an L.
To get an L with no smell?
Oh, God.
You ain't even gonna let me smell that thing? If you want to punch on me, you need to pull them things to the side at least. I'll let you get a few shots in. You let me smell it.
Nah, that's crazy.
Nah, you
That's
keep that up,
crazy.
boo-boo.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep that
Then
up,
maybe we can wrestle. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna beat me.
I'm already
I'll tell
mad
you
at that
right now.
point. It's
You done? Are you
over.
done pressing? It ain't
I'm
even worth
leaving
it.
right there. Leaving.
You go on the sheets and get a chocolate milk.
Yes,
go home.
half gallon chocolate milk. I'm gone.
Half gallon
Gone.
chocolate milk.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my L.
What about you?
I'd be highly upset. I don't know what I'd do.
finna call my sister.
Yeah. Morgan, you'll never believe this. She be down here so fast. I don't even know what I would do. Well, I've been punched before. I was a lot younger, right? Y'all want to hear that story right quick? No, we ain't got time. So
Why'd you ask?
so when it did happen, this girl hit me so hard. I was 19. when she was in the Army too, so she was doing PT. She was jacked. When she punched me, it made my head go back and my neck popped. Boom. So I grabbed my mouth, right? And I was like, yo, what the? Before I said the F and bow, she pitched me another one. So I back up. I'm like, it's on now. You done got two. Like, I can't take a third. You know what I'm saying? I might go to a knee. She was pitching them. So I back up a little bit and got a little room. I look over. She's bouncing on her toes, moving her head work. I said, listen, we are not doing this. We're not. Yeah. I said, you need to leave. She's like, nah, you gonna come in here all late. I said, what? This is my room. Matter of fact, how'd you get in here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think she picked the lock, went through the window, so I don't know. So when I got her to the door, I was like, please leave. I put my hand on the small of her back to just say, please leave. She threw herself out of my room onto the rail. Boom. The dude down at the desk was like, did you push her? I'm like, she's like, he did. I said, I did not push her. She just threw herself onto this rail right here. I said, I promise you I wouldn't do nothing like that. So got out. She goes out to the parking lot. She goes, nice truck, pussy. She freaking crane kicked my mirror on my truck. Crane kicked it, had it hanging by the wires. I led in a foot chase to this girl. She had high hands, Tonio, like she was digging in the 200. Okay? And I was losing ground. And I was fast back then, you know what I'm saying? So I just gave up, right? Went back to my room, told my buddy, right? So they told everybody in the unit, Derek got beat up by a man that had a wig on. You know, they just totally took this story out of disproportion. She came back, and I pray she ain't watching this. She came back 2 days later smoking a Newport. Knocked on the door. Ari had another little joint in there, right? So I told the other little joint, like, go to the shower because she crazy. She'll kill us both, right? So the other little joint was kind of hood. She's like, no, let her in. No, we're not doing that, right? So I go outside. She's smoking that cigarette. She was like, what's up with you? What's up with you? What you doing? You gonna pay for my truck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to run a check or something. I'll take care of it. I'm sorry about that. I went home and I had a while to think about it, and I know I was wrong. Yeah, you damn right you was wrong. And I appreciate you taking accountability and saying that you was wrong. And then she said, I know you probably don't want to be with me. Of course not. You know what I'm saying? If I did that to you, I'd be locked up. Yeah. She said, but can we still like hook up a couple times a week? Heck no. First time was fist. Next time it could be a knife. You never know.
You're crazy. I said, yeah.
You say yeah?
Yeah.
Bruh, it ain't even worth all that. It ain't worth sitting at your desk typing and you smell your mustache. Damn.
Oh, hell no. See, you ain't say all that. You did not say all that.
Hey, look at my man right here, bro. He's like, what?
You did not say all that.
Derek leaves out so many details.
No,
you said she punched on you and kicked your truck. That was it. You ain't say you said smell your mustache.
What I'm saying is, when you get that little pack and you go to work, you might have took a shower, but some of that stuff it'll last. So it might be on your lip and you go to work.
No, you are not showering right.
First of all, you was in the A.
First of all, we have
Tonio, tell him. No. Just tell him, Tonio.
I don't care about both of you. We is on your ass. Listen, bro. There is no way in hell that I'm gonna go to work and have that smelling on my mustache.
Are you crazy? That's the best thing.
No. What?
Yes, because you're sitting there working and you're like, man, work sucks. And then you think about it all day. This is not absurd. This is absurd. Hey, steak and sauce family, the real ones out there know. When she puts that dip on your lip,
oh my God.
So now I'm going to catch Derek all the time like this.
Yeah, you can see it. I'm going to notice it now.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I'm going to notice.
That ain't no, what they call it? CarMax.
What?
You know? CarMax, whatever it's called.
You said CarMax.
That's a different, I looked at Weston when I said it. That's a different type of gloss. You know what I'm saying? Antonio, tell them, in order to achieve that level, it's just like playing Mario.
Don't be saying Antonio.
Let me add you in on this. In order to achieve that level, it's just like Mario, you got to reach King Koopa. And King Koopa's in there deep. All right, he back in that tunnel waiting. You bust his ass a little bit, you don't get that on your lip.
He's wild.
Yeah,
That is wild.
yeah.
Absurd.
I just don't
Yeah,
know.
buddy.
I just don't
and
know
then you
how.
gonna raise the flag. You'll be standing in her front yard and a little drain will appear, a green drain,
You gotta jump in it.
and you'll raise the flag.
Nah,
You come on, man.
absurd.
This is not absurd. This is
Raise the
real.
flag.
Yeah, he's hit that funk fast before.
I just don't know how we go from
All he had on was Nike socks.
doing all that and not even washing your face for doing
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like
no, I
you
didn't-
talk about showering all the time.
You telling me, and
I'm
even if
clean,
you take
I'm
a
a
shower,
clean
it's
dude.
still on your mustache?
Yeah,
Yes.
You need a different girl.
yeah, that's
No.
some strong
Yes.
stuff.
No,
Yes.
she's eating her pie and she's doing everything she's supposed to do.
She eats Skittles and red meat.
Too much red meat in her diet, Jamie. Too much red meat, girl. Yeah.
Not the Skittles.
You need a cat full of vinegar.
Oh God.
Sit down.
Nah,
So no, you're not rocking with it. And you got a pretty, decent mustache. You're telling me.
I clean it. I clean it. Daddy. I clean it.
You ain't never. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you ain't never just been to bed and y'all both looking at each other like who's going to get the towel and the soap and stuff, and y'all both just fall asleep.
But you shower in the morning.
Yeah, you shower in the morning. But I'm saying, like, even though when you shower in the morning, you still gonna go to work and you go like,
No, it should not stay. It
Dip
should not
on your
stay.
lip, boy.
It should not stay.
Dip on your lip.
well, now that we have discussed that, we are going to get into something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, right? As a veteran who has been in therapy for many years, probably like 7 years, with PTSD, things like that, mental health and male insecurities kind of go hand in hand because there's insecurities in mental health, right? So the reason I want to bring this up is because we already have a huge stigma in the Black community, Preston, that no, I'm just saying, I just want him to understand. I'm not trying to be funny. We have a huge stigma to where in the Black community, we're getting better, but it was frowned upon at one time for us to go seek therapy, right? If you told somebody, man, I'm going to a therapist, what? They think you're weird or something's wrong with you for going to seek therapy instead of helping yourself, right? So we're trying to do better in our community with identifying if we need to talk to somebody, that is okay. And as men, we probably don't want to do that anyway because all the other stigmas that come with that, right? We don't want people to judge us for having to go to a therapist because some people are like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you should be talking to one too.
Yeah.
Right? I think everybody should, because you get somebody that's going to sit there and really be able to help you if you find a good fit.
Yeah.
That's a non-biased, opinion, things like that. So what I want to get into is, as young men here, what stigmas have you guys personally felt starting off that associate with some of the insecurities that you may have dealt with, that you may have seen or encountered, will start at like childhood? Anything?
So,
So like when you were a kid, right? Was
Yeah.
there ever a time where you felt like you didn't fit in? Something was off, maybe a little inadequate. Maybe the other boys were going through puberty faster. You went to the pool in the summertime and you didn't do like me and Antonio and get that thing to about 75 before you get out of the water. Yeah. And all the girls are like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, fellas, if you get in the pool, you got to get that thing to
gotta wake it up.
75
You
before
have to
you
wake
get
it up.
out.
In the store.
You gotta wake
got
it up.
He said you got to.
Yeah, guarantee.
You're gonna get embarrassed. Embarrassed.
So, Preston, did you ever experience any type of insecurities that you knew that were, you didn't know it was an insecurity, but you felt maybe a little less than inadequate, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, being a kid, you don't know what your feelings mean.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Like, the whole time growing up, you feel these things going on in your head, but you don't know what it is and you don't know what's causing it.
Right.
But definitely, I I've always been a little bit heavier set.
Right.
You know, so that was definitely something growing up, definitely like middle school.
Right.
And stuff, you know, everybody's picking on that.
Because kids are mean.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, I was getting picked on and doing the same thing to other people. You know.
Oh, so you were passing it. Yeah,
you know, that's just how kids are. That's
Right.
how you think. I mean, it's just everybody's mean.
Right.
Mean. But, you know, stuff like that.
It kind of resonates with me what you just said, because in the other episode when we were talking about my story, I was telling Antonio I tried to be as funny as possible and to fit in with every group that I could, because I felt like it gave me a pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like me playing sports, me doing stuff, oh, that's the funny dude. It took away from me being like overweight as an adolescent.
Yeah, you
right?
always being funny is like your go-to.
Oh, this is a go-to.
That's how it makes you as a kid feel more comfortable when people are laughing at your jokes.
Right.
You know, so when you walk in at the lunch table and there's people there you don't know, like, you know, oh, Jalen's friend sitting right there.
Right.
I don't know him. But
Right.
when I make Jalen laugh, his friend laughs, everybody's laughing, you feel more comfortable being there.
Right. True.
Even though you might not be dressed in the same clothes that y'all are in and feel a little, you know, like I shouldn't, you know, kind of be here. Like I don't really fit in with these guys, but when you start making people laugh, it really like helps you feel more comfortable in a situation. That's for sure.
I think I kind of masked how I felt. And the more I knew I could make people laugh, the more I knew the attention was off of me about the things that I was insecure about, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't start really leaning out to sophomore, junior year, you know? So I, you know, playing sports and stuff like that helped me.
Yeah.
So
definitely, that's a big help.
It's a big help, but I took on a different look. But I don't think I ever really noticed that. I think I internalized it more than other people. Maybe they said it, maybe they thought about it, but it wasn't something that was ever brought to me. And I think as men, a lot of the times we internalize stuff that our family, our friends, or our partners are not, it's not even on their radar.
No.
It's just something that we're holding on to. And one, we're too scared to talk about it. Two, how would they look at me if I bring this up?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you had an issue, Jalen, and you probably got one or two people that you're going to bring that to. You know what I'm saying? That you feel comfortable with as a man, because
For sure.
like, I don't want to talk. How am I going to talk about this?
Yeah, because
You know what I'm saying?
you're more, that makes you even more like anxious and stuff because
so many
you're
things I would
scared.
die with.
Yeah.
Just having my own secrets.
Yeah.
Right. Now, would you feel like, Antonio, like it's a secret, or do you feel like it's something that you just want to keep to yourself because you don't feel comfortable communicating that?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable telling people my thoughts anyway. So,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. That makes a lot of sense. So the expectations, right? Sometimes it comes from peer pressure, childhood issues, things that we've experienced, right? So pushing on, like the first area that I wanted to talk about with men, with mental health and insecurities, and like I said, we're going to try to be as transparent as possible, is relationship stability. And I want to start off with maybe the first early relationships we were in that we considered a real relationship, probably in high school, right? Most people experience their first heartbreak, their first, oh, this is the love of my life type of feeling in high school. So if you were able to process that and go through that, you've already started to develop maybe some trust issues, right? Let's say you graduated high school, your high school sweetheart is going to college in a different state. You're going off to the military, whatever like that. Y'all decide to break up because it would be too much.
Yeah.
So you're already carrying a little bit of pain, a little bit of hurt from those early relationships. Do y'all feel like, or if any, issues that y'all felt in early relationships that you carried with you and made you move a little differently after that in other relationships? Can y'all speak on that?
You go ahead then.
Oh, I mean, I definitely can.
Yeah.
I would say my first relationship was definitely depending on race.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I love white women.
Okay.
So therefore, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up during high school, them white women's daddies did not like biracial kids that had curly hair and, you know, that their parents were black and white.
Right.
So for me to have a first relationship like that during high school and us trying to sneak it so long.
Right.
And then eventually me meeting her parents and actually her parents actually knowing that, let me change their mind. Like, you know.
Oh, okay.
So I basically changed their whole perception on biracial marriage.
Gotcha.
Because they did not want their daughter to be with anybody that had any pigment in their skin, because their family, none of them have pigment in their skin. They're all white. And that's okay. But we hid it for so long. And then when I did meet her parents, it was just like, they kind of like me, but they deal with me.
Right.
And that's okay. But at the young age that I was only 15 years old, going through racism at the time just because I liked that certain person. And that was hard, you know?
Right.
And that's one of the reasons that we did break up, is because of her family just not knowing. It wasn't also that I only just met her mom and dad. I didn't even get to meet the people that really started, her grandparents and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's okay. And I feel like at a young age like that, me going through that helped me set up in the future too, just to watch how I move, watch how different things, because every day you catch people that get in a relationship like that and their mother or father don't like that, and you might be in some danger.
That's
that
true.
Daddy don't like you, might be in some danger.
A lot of people
for
get in relationships like
for
that.
sure.
And I think that happens a lot in this area. So, Jalen, when you were experiencing that, did that cause you to do any type of self-reflection? Like, man, like if I was a different race, if I was this, if I was that, did you ever question that? Did it ever make you feel like, man, I can't even date who I want to date because they don't like me? You know what I'm saying? Did you ever take that internally?
Yeah, for sure. I took that internally, and I kind of looked at it as like some of my friends that were also white and their parents were white. Sometimes when I come over to their house, I kind of
Judge them kind of different.
Yeah, just kind of, I wouldn't say judge them a little differently, but I felt like they were judging me a little bit differently based off of everybody else in there.
So the other experiences, because you harbored that, had you moving differently around people that you didn't even have those type of relationships with.
Exactly.
You know, because I'm sure at that age, you didn't know how to process that. You didn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So other than, you know, trying to have those type of relationships and stuff like that, so you internalize that, what else or how else did it make you feel to see, I'm sure, other people freely being able to date in high school and stuff like that? And we're ahead of the times. We shouldn't have to hide stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you were still having to do that.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. It just kind of felt like, why? I mean, you can't really choose who you pick to like or love. You know what I'm saying? That person has the attractions based off your mind.
Right.
But it just kind of, I don't know. Why did I have to meet this girl and end up liking her,
Right.
for me to figure out that her parents were like that?
I got you.
So then it's like every day we're trying to figure out some kind of mischievous way just to chill or hang out, just so her parents wouldn't get mad at her.
And then that could bring on more issues too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then it appears to them
Sneaking around.
and that he's the culprit. Like, oh, you got
He's the reason they're sneaking.
You got my daughter ducking off and this and that. See, I told you.
Yeah.
And boys,
So that just adds to their thought already. Yeah.
And I'm sure that's hard to take on. Can we talk about for a second, do you guys feel like it was possible at that age, at that young of an age, for people that either ourselves or that we know to develop some like mistrust on certain things that have happened? Because we all seen those relationships in high school where we found out that, oh, she found out that he was sliding with so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
He found out she was sliding with so-and-so. I was going to say something. I can't say that. But when we saw that, did any of us experience what we can now know was the beginning stages of trust issues?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's when you learn everything.
Right.
Because you were around so many people every day.
Right.
So I see that, oh, you got a good relationship. I see how this is going. And then something happens, like little, you pick up on that knowledge when he comes to school and tells me what happened.
Right.
You keep that knowledge in you forever.
Right.
On how that relationship didn't work, or, you know, your relationship didn't work. You always keep that.
And the reason I ask that is because we're being molded by outside influences. We don't even know it. Mm-hmm. Stuff that's happened to our friends and people around us has made us sometimes have a guarded heart as a man, has made us maybe be a little less motivated to be very open to communication with our partner. Because if we saw somebody that was like, you know, hey, I told my girl this, that, and the third, then it went south. Yeah. We're like, man, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
I'm not doing that. You know, I ain't doing that. Yeah. Or, you know, if you saw a situation that made you harden your heart. And I think a lot of men go through that process where they're like, man, I'm not going to allow myself to get hurt. So I'm just going to get out here, do my thing, move left to right. And we'll just see how that goes. Yeah. But all that is tying directly into insecurities that we're developing as men that we don't even talk about. Yeah. So now we're carrying that stuff that happened in high school
with us. Yeah.
With us. Now we're young men, right? Right out of high school in those beginning stages, right? And some people got married early. Some people wanted to push that out. So now we're at the point where we have jobs, right? And we're getting in those career jobs. For a man, this is another area that society, relationships, and social media really play a part. We have so many rap female artists right now that are saying that they don't want a man with a 9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all over the place.
Yeah. Now, ladies, I'm not coming at y'all. I'm saying this is what men are internalizing, and the man that has a 9 to 5 job that's working hard, and that's where he's at right now, maybe he's taking on a little bit of a feeling inadequate or something like that because high profile women are telling them, hey, I don't want a man with a 9 to 5. When did a 9 to 5 become bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the fact of having a job at least is something that I see as positive.
I mean, you made a joke about the other day. I mean, it's any music. They always say something about 9 to 5 because they don't work it.
Right.
They talk down 9 to 5.
Right.
How are you supposed to get like them without that 9 to 5 to start?
Right. And
you have to start somewhere.
Anybody that's successful is going to tell you.
Yeah.
They're on a 9. Yeah, they did it because you got to have a platform. If something fails, the rent's still due.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right. So I think a lot of men are taking that on, right? Job security, right? Am I in the best position to identify myself? Men directly identify ourselves with our profession, right? Yeah. It's a part of our masculinity, right? So if we don't feel that we're in a position where we are secure in our job, if it's appealing to say what we do, maybe some men may be a little less, prompt to say, hey, I work at this shoe store, because they feel that this woman or whoever may judge them on that, but they don't even know that. Yeah. So we're going into it with built up things already, right? Yeah. And not only having a 9 to 5, but like Tonio, remember you told me, you was like, look, man, I'm putting myself in a position to take care of my family, and you still have an old school way of taking care of things, right? Yeah. So do you think it's bad to have a 9 to 5 or to be aspiring to go to be?
No, how else are you going to eat? How else is the bills going to get paid?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying.
It'd be different if you own your own business and all that.
Right. Everybody can't be a scammer.
But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing now.
The bills don't stop.
Everybody can't scam and buy red eyes.
Yeah, buy red eyes. Like, like Tonio eats hibachi a lot, but he works. You know what I'm saying?
It works for that hibachi.
I'm not trying noodles and rice.
Yeah, with steak on it.
Right. With steak on it.
I'm not trying to impress nobody by putting myself in a position that they could put the clanky clanks on me. Yeah. Just to appeal to this woman because she likes dudes that move in a fast way. Because guess what?
And ain't nothing wrong with that either.
There's nothing wrong with that. You do what you do. I'm not talking about nobody. But when they put them things on you, bruh, somebody's going to be putting that thing on her. It's guaranteed.
True.
Yeah. So why risk a biscuit, So job security for men is big. We identify ourselves with our job. We identify ourselves in 3 different platforms. The ability to provide, the ability to protect, and the ability to love, right? So financial security sounds like the same, but it's another aspect of that, because now we're talking about how are we going to be able to provide 5, 10, 15 years from now? And what we start looking at is the direct men that are in our families. My granddad handled his stuff so well that by the time he was ready to retire, everything was in order because his 20-year-old self was doing things that set him up when he was 40. Yeah. So that you can look back on that and say, hey, thank you, Tonio. Thanks for grinding during your 20s or whatever, Yeah. So do you think that it's a big deal for us as men, and maybe we feel insecure that we may not have everything mapped out, right? That we may not have investments and all these different things that we talk about. Mm-hmm. So do you think on average that most men have a 10, 15, 20-year plan and they feel pretty comfortable with it?
No, I don't think. No, I think a lot of people just go. I mean,
I feel like the range from 20 years old to 28 is the biggest stress in your life because during that time you're trying to become so much.
Right. And why do you, not to cut you off, where's that coming from? You say trying to become so much.
I would feel like everywhere. I mean, social media. Right. You might have friends or family that is already worked in their 20s and set up, and now you're just trying to do the same thing so you can live like them when you get 30. But it is too. Social media is a big thing in our lives. It's a new
huge.
thing.
Every day.
So like every day you get on it, you see somebody whipping a red eye or you know what I'm saying, eating good.
How about you?
Trying to be like them.
Yes.
So when you're 20, you're trying to work up so much just so you can be like them or somebody else. But at the end of the day, you're still trying to be yourself, but make that game plan where it sets you up. And that's the hardest. I feel like that's the biggest insecurity for anybody that is 20 to 28 years old and is a male.
I can agree with that because I mean, you go, it is so it's influencers is what they're called. That's their job. Yeah. They influence you. Right. So you want to sit here and they're influence you by posting the riding in the red eye and eating good. And it becomes, you get unmotivated by that stuff because you haven't hit yet. Right. You see a guy on there, he's 21 years old. He makes, $200,000 a month doing something on social media. These guys playing video games, streamers, they make crazy money.
Crazy.
And he's younger than me. And how unmotivating that is. It's hard to to keep your grind when you see stuff like that every single day.
Man, it's making 200 some thousand a month off of sitting in a chair just like we are playing a video game. And we going out 9 to 5s. Working for $60,000, $70,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is kind of hard. It's like a breakdown. Like, what can I do to get like that?
To level up.
Exactly.
What can I do to be an influencer? What can I do to have $200 some thousand a month?
How can I turn my 9 to 5 into that? And you also got to, the big thing, like I said, you can get unmotivated by that stuff. But the big thing for me is surrounding myself with people that want the same stuff.
That want good for you.
Yes, when you have people that I'm cheering for you, I'm cheering for you, I'm cheering for you, and they cheer right back, that helps you keep hurting your back every day and working and doing all this stuff because everybody believes in each other. Yeah. Even though all these people on social media make you feel so down, like, why am I going to work? Right. These dudes it's hard.
But
yeah,
it is a facade. Yeah. They're showing us the absolute best of them. Mm-hmm. They're not showing us. They're not showing us the family issues, the failed relationships, the money that is fake that they continue to revolve throughout each video, right? And we're not only seeing that; kids are seeing that. Yeah, other women are seeing that, right? So now we're looking at that like, man, I got to be like this, that, and the third. And I think everybody at this table, one thing I can say is, regardless of what happens, every man at this table, I know we present us. I've had conversations with each one of y'all offline, and we are the men that we are, not just here, but at home. Now, we're trying to make improvements, and what Jalen said, there's big expectations on him, on you, on Tonio, on me, and we're all different. The pressures he's feeling right now, it's not the same as yours. I'm feeling crazy pressure because of the age that I'm at. So society would say, hey, Derek, Tony always makes fun of me. Hey, by the time your kid's shooting a jump shot, you'll be 50 in the stands. Yeah. He'll say, Derek, you're going to be 55 fighting everybody, Because I'm telling you, somebody dunks on my son and they do the baby cradle or they do like he's small, bro, I hope your parents can fight. No, I'm saying that right now. I hope everybody can fight in the gym because I'm putting it on everybody. You know, you gonna dunk on my son and say he's small?
Jalen, I remember. I'll tell you a story. Jalen was the kid that made parents fight. I remember in basketball, he'd get so mad out there.
Right.
He was the guy.
And my dad's the wrong one to have in the stands, ain't he?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, because
I already knew I could do whatever I wanted to. My daddy had love that.
Yeah. Dad'll fight the refs, the people working the clock. Don't matter. So the expectations that are placed on us can make it very stressful. We all have old souls here. So we think that the man takes care of the larger portion of the household, the mortgage, stuff like that. Now, we would like for our woman to have a bag and get into the bread. I have no issues with that. Ladies, I have no issue with any, like whoever's making the most money is going to the same pot. I don't worry about that. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I don't care about it because I know I'm getting to a bag and you are too. I need a truck. Right? So, but I think that's another thing. We have a little bit of diversity in the roles that we're playing or what society tells us we should do. We still feel like we should take care of all the big things. And our woman, hey, you grab that Hulu bill, you grab the car insurance, and you do the groceries, and I got everything else.
Yeah.
Right? And we're comfortable taking on that brunt, not knowing how much stress that puts on us. Now, who's to say that that's what a man is supposed to do? Where do these rules come from, right? Now, if we can't do that in a moment, we're going to feel a little bit insecure, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If we cannot meet the expectations of maybe how our dad had things set up, maybe how our brother had something set up, you're going to look at it and be like, man, I kind of feel, a little bit down, a little bit less about this right now, So I feel like this is probably one of the bigger things that I see in a lot of men. And I think a lot of men cover this up is our body image, right? Because we joke about so many different things, right? These things started to develop when we were young, right? I was the kid at the pool that swam with a little shirt
on, yep.
And everybody knows the kid swimming with the shirt is fat, right? Because he doesn't feel good. And I'm not being funny, but he doesn't feel confident enough to swim without his shirt on, stuff like that, because the other kids run around with the bowl cuts and they play soccer and stuff. They're a little bit thinner, so they don't mind. They don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a little bit heavier. I don't mind. You gonna get this belly?
Yeah,
they love it.
That's
they
the
love
crazy.
rubbing on it. I had a girl put her whole ranch cup on my stomach and was dipping wings out of it. How y'all feel about that?
That's all you, player.
Oh, don't.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let somebody.
Don't.
I don't even like ranch. Like what?
I didn't say you like this. She like it. But so, body image. I'll start off. I'll tell you 3 things I think I've struggled with the most in my life. The first one was I'm right under 6 foot, right? And you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, he ain't 6 foot. I ain't talking to him." Well, you probably missed your husband because he was 5'8", right? Now, everybody can have a standard what they like, right? So the first one for me was my brothers. Most of them are over 6 foot. I think even Jordan is, right? So for me being right up under that, you feel some type of way because you always think, hey, if I'd have been 6'4", I'd have made it to the league. You know what I'm saying? We all feel like that, right? Whether men want to admit this or not, oh, he walked into the room and he's an alpha. I know. No, you talk to that man. He's struggling with something. Ain't nobody not struggling with something, right? Now, I consider myself in certain situations an alpha because I'm confident. And other situations, I'll sit back and read the room. But I know that there are insecurities that I've had that have come up, not in conversations with my friends and family. They've come up in relationships too.
Yeah.
So I think the second thing for body image wise for me, my dad can grow a full beard, thick, especially when he was younger. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be like him so bad that I shaved with a dry razor when I was like 9 years old. Now I'm downstairs at my grandmother's house. Didn't even know that I had to put shaving cream or something on my face. This was one of those old timey razors.
Yeah, you cut.
My skin rolled up like ice cream under that blade. Ran upstairs, holding my chin. Everybody freaked out.
Yeah.
I think my mom beat me in the head because when in a black family, when you get hurt, you get beat. I don't know if y'all know that or not, right? Like when you get hurt, you gonna get beat. Then they ask you what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm playing. But I wanted to grow hair so fast that I felt like that was the fastest way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I shave this off, I have a huge scar on my chin. Just because I was like, hey, I want to be like that, right? Because I felt like, oh, I got a baby face. I look young. Nobody knows how old I am till you look at all these grays I got in my face, right? But maybe that'll help me once I get older. And that's what I kept telling myself, you'll look young. I think the third thing for me, and this is honest, I was a little bit reserved to even start this podcast because I kept comparing myself to the physical condition I was in when I was in the military.
Yeah.
And I had to realize, Derek, you're not doing the same stuff anymore. That's not an excuse. I need to tighten up. But I was a little bit nervous to come on camera because I knew people would associate that I hadn't seen in a while. When they look at it like, damn, Derek, you got a little thick. I don't care, your baby mama like it. But I knew that was going to be something. Look at Weston. I knew that was going to be something. So y'all didn't even know this, and I'm telling y'all this as a man right now. I almost didn't even do this because I knew I was going to have to be on camera, and I can't hide from the world. So one of my best friends said, Derek, man to man, any comedian, anybody that you see on stage, they're all different shapes and sizes. Do you think they're going to wait to have this miracle weight loss before they start their career?
Yeah.
No. They're going to run now. So I knew I had to, I'm admitting this to y'all right now. This was a huge insecurity that I had.
Yeah.
To be on film, to be on here with you guys and know we're putting this out to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing that people I haven't talked to in a while are going to view this, and that could be a little judgmental. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on my grind. What are you doing? Right? So, but I really did feel like that. And I felt like I had to back off of that and tell myself, what was masculinity to me? And we spoke about this on the other show when I was telling my story, right? Masculinity is whatever you desire it to be. Not what society tells you, not what a man tells you, not what a woman tells you, not what your dad tells you, right? Because your dad could chew bricks all his life and he thinks that you're supposed to do that, but you play the violin.
Yeah.
Is that less masculine? No, I think that's very masculine because that's a invaluable skill. He chews bricks. He can't play violin.
Yeah.
So I think, have to step back as men and determine what we consider to be masculine and not let society or anybody try to sway or tell you that, hey, like I said, you don't like contact. If I have a little boy and he don't want to play ball, I want to put him in some type of activity. Hopefully he wrestles or something just because I love it so much. But if a little boy don't want to get hit and want to contact, maybe we'll try something different. Hey, do you like MMA? Maybe it's just the contact of football, right? Maybe that's not his niche. But I'm not going to just totally be like, oh, he's soft. Because he doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's a big thing that happens to kids every day.
Every day.
Their parents force them to do stuff.
Right.
That's going to be something that I love sports, Right. I love every sport. I want my kid to try every sport.
Right.
But when he comes off the field and says he doesn't want it.
Right.
All right.
That's it.
Because if you try to force somebody to do something they don't like, it's going to change him as a man. Right. When he gets older, it's going to change the whole way he looks at life.
He's going to have these insecurities ingrained in him from the start.
Yeah.
Hey, the way I do this, these things have to be done. Weston, we good on time? Okay. We'll do one more and then we'll run a part two.
Yeah, sure.
I read this quote. Y'all know Gary V on social media? Mm-hmm. I love that guy, right? Gary V said, I don't spend my time wondering why I can't do certain things with power tools. Hang a TV, build a table, put drywall up. He said, that's not where my expertise is. So instead of sitting around and sulking and feeling like I'm less of a man because I can't put up drywall, I call somebody that can.
Yeah.
And I go make money where I know I can make money. Now, could you learn how to do that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the reason I said that is don't spend time so focused on the things that you can't do and allowing that to make you feel like, oh, I'm not at this level because I don't hang sheetrock. I don't do this. I don't know how to finish concrete.
Yeah, you're not lesser because you can't do, trade work and stuff like that. Yeah.
But think about how many times we've done that to ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't even told anybody that. Think about how many times you might have failed at something and you internalize that you're less of a person or a man because you couldn't complete that task. You know? So, just to be mindful. Have you ever felt like that?
No.
Well, I knew that. I don't even know. I don't know why I asked.
You know how I am, dude.
But you do. You have a mentality, and I respect it because it's a great mentality. If somebody tells you, you're kind of like me. Tell me I can't do something, and I promise you, I'm gonna get it done.
At least try.
It may take every fiber that I have, but I'm gonna get it done.
That's the most important thing is not thinking that you're a lesser person or a lesser man because you can't do something.
Right.
If you really, and you can tell yourself 100% that you put the effort in to, do that thing, then that's fine. If you didn't get it done, that's fine.
Right.
That's 100% okay. Do not feel bad about that.
Right. And like I said, I think that being transparent and knowing that there's been times I've had to step back because of somebody challenges me in some type of way. Somebody gets wild at work. Somebody says a little bit too much. Like I said before, I'm giving you the benefit. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me, because I know where I'll take it. Y'all got to come put something on my, but emotional intimacy, right? I think that's something that a lot of men are insecure about as well, because when you have a man that grows up in a certain way and he's taught to be silent is strong, silent is this, we don't talk about our problems. Now, I will agree. I have learned, trial by fire, there are a lot of things as a man that you probably shouldn't discuss with your partner, right? There are certain things because you don't want to lean too much and give them too much insight on what you struggle with, right? Because some people don't know how to handle that. They might not even understand it, and they may look at you in a lens that they,
Or they might try to use it against you at some point.
I wasn't going to say that, but that happens.
That's my issue. That's why I try to keep everything
down.
Just in case something comes back. Because people love to throw stuff in your face.
Go ahead.
I wasn't going to say that, but hopefully we all get into situations where we can have that openness, right? And where we're not worried about, but we've all experienced the other side of that. Not only having somebody do it to us, but I'm sure there's been times where we've been like, oh yeah, well, that's why you're a big toe, right? It's natural. People do it and you don't even mean to do it, but that emotional intimacy, being vulnerable is a huge word for men. Being able to sit down with your partner and say, hey, you got a few minutes? I'd like to talk to you. As a man, it's hard to tell somebody that something that they did or said is bothering you, because we'd rather hold it in, because we already see in society, oh, that's a light skin move, right? That ain't that what they call it?
That is, yeah.
That's a light skin move, right? No. I'm not saying every little thing. Obviously, we learn we have to choose our battles, but when you grow up in a certain type of environment, you may grow up thinking that that's the right way to do stuff. And it's not. You got so much stuff built up in you, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know how to communicate to get stuff off your chest so you can let stuff go. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was you going to say?
No, you're good. I feel like every man on this earth will always take certain things to the grave.
Yes.
There's certain things that you will never, ever tell anybody.
Right.
And you will take them things to the grave.
Right.
But there is a certain point where you might find that partner that you can let them rocks off. For sure.
Yeah. And I pray when you have that emotional intimacy with somebody, and like I wrote down right here, certain patterns growing up as a child, I could express because my mom would ask me every day, Derek, are you okay? What's wrong? Because she knows me. And she gave me a platform to speak. She gave me the space to say what was wrong. I remember I cried like a baby one time when I told my mom, like, yo, they cut me from the 8th grade team. Tonio and them are inside doing layups and stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I had my glory days after high school. My glory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tonio and them had to finish. What would we have to run? 2 miles, I think.
I don't know.
So
Tonio was a few laps.
Tonio was barely even sweating. He runs. They're inside. I get inside looking like somebody dumped a bucket of water on me. They're doing layup drills, right? And I looked over at a certain coach, and he was like, shook his head. He already knew the homie ain't gonna make it, right? But I so badly wanted to make it because Tonio and them was traveling. They was getting team shoes. They were doing this and doing that. And I can play basketball. Like, I'm not trash, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like, okay, I'm decent enough to play. But what I didn't do is set myself up for success prior to those trials. Mm-hmm. And even as a man now, we don't just come on this show and just fly by the hip. There's a lot of planning and prep we do before we come here. Yeah. Right? I didn't do the planning and preparation before that tryout. So I was very insecure about having to tell people that I got cut. I wasn't the only one, but I remember going home and my mom had to be real with me. She was like, hey, next time we need to do XYZ before you go in there so you can present your best self, you know? And that just popped up in my head because I was looking right at you. And I remember that, you know, that time or whatever. Yeah. And I want to jump into one more right quick. We all have a fear. And my biggest fear is one day I'm not going to be as strong as I am. I'm not going to be physically able to do the things that I do. Well, I feel like as men, when we lose a physical attribute, right? You had a serious injury to your foot recently. Mm-hmm. I am more than sure, I'm not even going to get into your business, but I'm more than sure that you kind of felt down a couple days because you're used to moving and shaking, working. Yeah. And there were things you were not able to do, and your significant other had to step in and help.
You gotta ask for help.
And you gotta ask for help.
That's hard.
Yeah. But you have a person in your life that does not make you feel in any type of way
lesser
because she knows prior to this you were doing what you're supposed to do, and she trusts that.
Absolutely.
So if we take a physical setback, Tonio, you say all the time, man, my back, my knees, you can still get out here and dunk a basketball though.
No.
Yeah. But as men, if we take a physical setback, right, we're already thinking, I'm not gonna be able to protect my family because I fractured my foot. I'm sick and in the bed, and my wife is having to come and pick the kids up. She's having to clean. I normally clean. I normally take the trash out. I'm normally doing all these things. So now you're circulating things in your head that she's probably not even thinking about. When I got hurt overseas, you know, the first thing I thought was my private's okay. Because I was thinking about, what if I couldn't go meet to meet no more? Right? That's an issue, right? Because you would think about your woman. Yeah. My mom always told me, listen, you're going to have to marry a woman. When I was in the military, that Lord forbid something bad happened to me and something wasn't working the right way. She told me, you got to be with a woman that can understand that. Because most people wouldn't.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with that, right? You can't hit that patch down there no more, you know what I'm saying? And
not the one.
You know what I'm saying? After the work that I put in. And you
got somebody at your house.
You ain't going nowhere.
and you can't perform at that level no more. That's a problem with giving 110%. Okay?
Every time.
Every time.
That's why they get hooked.
Every time. So when you're this is not the most important thing, ladies, but for a man, if you could not do those things, you know you're going to directly start having some insecurities about that. I've been out of work. My wife is having to take on majority of the bills now. Mm-hmm. I'm not able to help bathe the kids. I'm not able to do the chores that I used to do. We cannot have the intimacy that we used to have, right? And we got to think about this too. This physical setback, and I hate to relate it to this again, we're going to hit our peak. Look at Wesley, he shook his head. He already knows. We're going to hit our peak around 40, right? 40. Oh. I mean, I'm going to be gone, but by the time that we reach a certain age, we've already given out 20 years of the best pipe that we got. At that point, these women turn into vampires at like 40 something. They're official cougar status.
Yeah.
And they want that thing blammed. Now she gonna forget all about them 20 years prior that you was, tearing her ass up. She thinking about now.
Been in the Hall of Fame for the past 15 years.
I mean, yeah. Honorable mention. I got my gold jacket.
There's new athletes out there. They don't. There's rookies out there that
so
They don't know.
they don't know about putting your thumb between her second and third rib. They don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't sucking no toes, don't even talk to me.
Oh God.
Man, all right. So look at my man. So as men, we have a lot of things, right? Hair loss, weight gain.
Yeah, I would lose my mind if I went bald.
You think about it. And you have a full set of hair. You always have. You can grow hair very fast.
Be mad as fuck.
Jalen, what if you know what I'm saying? What if you had this little patch like I got back, and I gotta comb mine forward. Sometimes
it's eye vision.
That's a big
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
life changing.
Yeah.
At least you can still smell.
Smell that mustache.
I ain't gotta see it, but I know where it's at. I tell her, look, just lay on the bed and cut the fan on and let the air just waft it.
Like on the cartoons,
you remember the
cartoons where they flew through the house because they smell
that lasagna would float. She's in there with that lasagna, and them pheromones just floating down the hallway like this, and it hits my nose and just carries me in there.
They start levitating.
I would levitate. I don't care. I'd put my hands on the walls like reading Braille and walk right up in there. I would. To find that lasagna.
Hound dog.
Yeah. Hound dog. You're damn right. Yeah, I'm gonna be a dirtball to the end. I already know it. You know what I'm saying? You need your tuition paid.
Just one smell.
Okay, see.
You know what I'm saying? What you need on them books? That thing probably could bust a grape. And that's another thing I want to say. I got a new term, and I'm going to just throw this in there. Back pressure.
Suck a vacuum clean.
The back pressure. Y'all know that back pressure when you get in there good and that little alien come out. I call it the little alien. Hang on, let me finish. You get in there real good, Tonio, at certain levels. And everybody that works in a mine is gonna go to different depths, you know what I'm saying? But I got a foolproof way. If you adjust your hips a little bit, you can get to another corridor. You know what I mean? So when you punch it down in there, everybody might not know about this alien that I'm talking about, but every now and then it just reach out and touch you, right?
Little slap
on you. Then when that engine revs up like that 68 Camaro, that back pressure is just going to push into you. And boy, I'm talking about balled up meat back pressure.
You know what makes me think of that?
What?
You used to go into a store and you get them little things of putty like that,
right?
And freshly open.
You talking about taking this top off the little foil? The little foil, that little seal. Now, Tonio's gonna sit there and act like he has no idea what we're talking about.
Lying.
He is lying and flying.
Whatever.
That man loves the fact that he feels that back pressure.
I don't know what you're talking about. I plead the fifth.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess I'm the only one then. But as we're talking about these things, we made a little light of it, at the end. We're gonna come back. We have a few more sections I'd like to go over to see how those things affect us, right? And we do know that, mental health is something. If you do know somebody, even yourself, somebody struggling, somebody going through something, listen to them, point them in the right direction, try to get some help. I encourage everybody to get into some type of therapy because there's things that you've been holding on to, things that you have felt some type of way about probably for a long time, and you just didn't know where to direct that. And I think for every young man that may watch this, it is okay for you to talk to your friends. Find somebody that you can confide in. You don't need to take everything to shorty, but certain things you better tell your homeboy than,
What happens if you don't feel comfortable enough to do something like that?
That's
I'm in that boat. Like, I don't feel comfortable telling people my feelings. Like,
and I know you don't, but that's what I wrote down. That came from, and you got to search within you. Mm-hmm. At some point in your life, you bottled that up.
Yeah.
At some point. And that's your defense. That keeps people at bay, because I really know you, but you have a Ranger regiment with snipers and everything lined up because you can keep people at a certain distance.
True.
And anybody comes across that field, you pick them off because that's your safe net. That's your security. And a lot of people have that. Mm-hmm. Now, when you let it down, and the time that you probably let it down is a time that you probably experience the most pain. So you're like, shit, I let this down. This happened. So we're going to improve on our security system.
Yeah.
Right? We need better cameras.
Yeah, upgrade.
Bigger guns. I need more dogs. Everything, right? Sure. And you're internalizing that because the time that you were able to let that down, everything was telling you, I don't know. And you did. Maybe something was unfavorable. So now you're really like, man, ain't nobody gonna really know me, But I really feel like if you're feeling like that, there's a whole side of you that would feel so much better if you could find or confide in somebody like that to be able to let that down, because that controls how you move in every situation.
Yeah.
Like I say, Tony, are we going to go eat pizza? Who coming?
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't even want to have, it ain't got nothing to do with the woman. There's certain conversations you may not want to have at a group of table with the fellas. Right? And I know that. And that's okay, because I know what that feels like. I told a good friend of ours, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't show up at your wedding. And I feel bad about that because I didn't want to answer a bunch of questions. He understood. Mm. But that was a very hard conversation to have, but we needed to have it, So I thank you guys for sharing what you shared today. And if you don't feel comfortable, I just hope and pray that we make strides in the right direction to where we can do that. And it don't have to be with nobody that's right here. I just wanted to bring this up because I feel like a lot of people needed to hear this, needed to see these things. We don't talk about these things.
Yeah, and you're not the only one to deal with it.
And I'm not the only one to deal with it.
You always think you always assume that you're the only person to deal with that stuff.
I'm different now, bro. I feel like you feel. I used to be more of an open book because it used to get shunned as like a negative thing. My mom raised me like that. I communicated and I didn't even know what I was doing. But now, bro, I'm like, I'm good. I got me. And I don't want to stay like that, because I don't want to push somebody away that I don't want to do that with. So I gotta, just like you, I gotta do more work. And like I said, it's not that our lives are messed up. We just got more work to do, So I encourage everybody that's here, just continue to do the work, everybody that's watching, man, woman, child, whoever, just continue to do the work. Because we wanted to shed light on this because the mental health and the insecurities aspect kind of go hand in hand. And I feel like if you can get help with one, it'll help you in the other area.
Yeah.
Like I said on that one episode, Jalen, it took me, so I was 30 some years old to have a conversation with Dad for him to tell me like, hey man, I've been proud of you. And this whole time I'm wondering like, am I meeting his level of expectation of what he had for a son? Am I in the position to where he looks at me and it's kind of like you pass that torch, like, hey, we bless off on this, Yeah. He had already felt like that. So I'd harbored all these things for years and didn't even know it. Those are years I can't get back. All I can do moving forward is do the work, to work on it. So, man, I know we're on our time. I appreciate you guys. This has been Steak and Sauce episode 16, the baddest podcast in land. We thank you guys for helping us reach this episode. This is huge, bro. We are on our way to 20. And I remember us starting out with 1 and trying to figure out how we were going to do it. I just hope that the Lord continues to bless us and continues to give us some creative energy. And we keep doing these things. If anybody wants to plug their social media, they can. If not, that's okay. I know Weston's got a big Twitter account. That's a joke. I had to say it.
Yeah.
No, but we want you to continue to support us. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to see certain things on this platform, please contact Tonio, Weston, myself on any of our social medias. We'll take care of it. We'll see if we can do that. If you'd like to come on the show, please let us know that as well. Continue to support Weston. He's the man with the plan at carmack.media on Instagram. You can search me on I am Derek Nowlin on Instagram or Derek Nowlin on Facebook. This podcast is on all platforms. So if you're driving into work, get on Spotify, give us a listen. If you're at home, get on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. We can't do this without you guys. So continue to be blessed, and until the next time.